U.S. officials say Secretary Kerry and President Abbas meet at an important moment in negotiations on a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Do you prefer a one-state or a two-state solution?
Personally, one state for all.
Okay.
ויש שלווה, ויש שלום, וכולם יחיו ביחד. למה? זה דבר גם טוב. זה לא באמת, נכון?
What is this two-state solution? You understand, by using that phrase, we all intuitively understand that the Arabs refuse to accept Israel as a Jewish state. That's why we call it a two-state solution, because really, it's a 23rd Arab state solution.
One of the great issues that the world is facing today is how to settle the Middle East conflict with a two-state solution. What is the two-state solution, and will it work? During the last almost 40 years, the world has been working very hard to bring about a peace settlement in the Middle East, or what is commonly called the two-state solution, in which Israel and the Palestinians are able to live together in their own separate states for the hope of creating a mutual tolerance for one another and an ultimate peace. The problem with all of the things that have been attempted is they have all tragically failed because they forgot one thing: the Lord and His solution for the land of Israel. One of the most interesting passages in the Bible that really deals with the two-state solution actually happened during the reign of King Solomon. And in 1 Kings, there is a passage that talks about a great dilemma that came to Israel in which two women fought over a baby. And then King Solomon said, "Bring me a sword." So they brought a sword for the king, and he again gave an order: "Cut the living child in two and give half to one and half to the other." The woman whose son was alive was filled with compassion for her son and said to the king, "Please, my lord, give me the living baby. Don't kill him." But the other said, "Neither I nor you shall have him. Cut him in two." Then the king gave his ruling: "Give the living baby to the first woman. Do not kill him, for she is his mother." And when all Israel heard the verdict the king had given, they held the king in awe, because they saw that he had wisdom from the Lord to administer justice. And today, as we look at the two-state solution, we see the same dynamic going on. The Palestinians are willing to cut the child in half, to really destroy the land of Israel and what it was intended to be, so that they might have their peace. But the people of Israel, who love the land of Israel, who believe it was a promise given to them through their father Abraham, do not want to see the child cut in half, but they're willing to give the child up and to make concessions so that the child might live. And the important message is, our Lord Jesus is King Solomon, and His plan is never to cut His people in half, never to divide the land of Israel, never to bring out a sword and separate that which He has brought together. But our Lord's plan has always been from the beginning to give His people one land, one place, one opportunity to share together and to live in a promised land of peace and love forever. And this issue is so important to the Lord that we actually find that the end of history, as we know it, will be set about restoring the land of Israel and not dividing it. And in those days and at that time, when I restore the fortunes of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And there I will enter into judgment against them concerning my inheritance, my people Israel. For they scattered my people among the nations and divided up my land. The wonderful news for all of us is that the two-state solution won't work because God has a better plan. A one-state solution of a promised land for all of us to live with the Lord in peace and love and harmony forever.